It's over here in the village of WellPoint. WellPoint spills over on both sides of McNeil Drive. They're starting to get a little bit of that golf course greens down there. I notice it's coming in nice and green. But what I'm doing is on my way over here to this newer section, what I mistakenly thought was going to be Courtyard Villas. Now, I'm not sure what they're going to call these. They look like a courtyard villa, but a redesigned floor plan. You know, they just look like a whole brand new style of reconfigured courtyard, but what they're actually calling these, I don't know. And I'm coming over here and I'm checking out this sun. Oh, it's so beautiful. But I'm on Denise Drive and Santino Avenue. We're on the southern side of McNeil Drive and the other half portion of the village of WellPoint. And these are some brand new modeled houses, brand new homes. Now, are these going to be courtyard villas as well? I don't know what they're going to call these, but let's try to take a quick ride through and see if we can't see anything. This is on 1/1/25, right after New Year's, and there's even new construction workers out here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a look at these. So I'm going to try to get a quick ride and see what they're doing in here. This is going to be a nice large area. Look at the side of that house right there. Golf cart garage. I did see up towards the front where they were doing a landscape, and they would have a separate golf cart pathway and then a driveway. That was something a little different too. Looks like total chaos in here, of course. It's pretty quiet. These houses go down a lot farther. These are bigger than a standard courtyard from what I'm looking at. Now, this is just a quick sneak peek. So I hope you guys are getting a little bit of a view as to kind of what they're doing in here. And they are tight. I mean, look, they're put together right close to one another. Look at that. And this house, all you see is garage door. But where's the front of the house? On that one. And then you got this one. There's the front of the house going in. See? So right here, you got a separate driveway, and then you're going to have a separate golf cart path right there. I saw it on a couple miles towards the front entrance. We're not going to be able to really ride around too well in here. See, and that side lanai right there, if you look off in the distance, that's what a lot of them are doing. So you're getting a side lanai, but what are you looking at? You're looking at that brick, you're looking at that wall right there. That's all you're looking at. And these things are just long. They go way down towards a lot bigger. This is going to be interesting to see what these things are and what they're going to call these homes. I'd like to be able to get out, but I don't have a battery in my camera. I'm only running straight power. So that might be a little tricky because the batteries were swelling up in it when the camera was getting hot. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch to my my phone camera and see if we can't steal a snapshot or two of what these houses look like. All right, I switched cameras. What I wanted to see just quickly, of course, you know, you still got these solid walls right here. There's all that house and this side lanai right here. So this is typical. This is what a lot of them are doing right here and in the house. But on some of those models, they're staring at nothing but that wall right there. That one's a little bit different model. But if you notice, look how far down, and the house is long. It just goes way out that way. So these aren't your typical courtyards. This house right here has got a corner lot. Got a corner lot, and off in the distance you see this house right here is getting a swimming pool in it, or like a wading pool or something of that sort that the Villages is doing. And I had somebody tell me the Villages started doing that, and they'll sell it so somebody can buy the whole thing. And I think it was less money if you bought the house and then you had it added a pool to it. But these guys are starting to get ramped up in here a little bit. We're going to continue the ride. Wasn't planning on spending much time in here. But just for reference, here's the front of this house. So you got the garage view still. And that house goes right to the front door. And there's west. Yeah, we're going to be keeping an eye on these. So we flipped around. And this neighborhood is a lot bigger than the street that we just come. We only came up just up one side, down the other. This thing's going to go all the way around. So it looks like there's two sections of this, of sorts. I don't think we're going to be able to get in there. Very early stages. Now what I'm noticing is right here, this camera doesn't zoom. Sorry about that. This camera doesn't zoom, but you've got the garage right here, and that house goes all the way down. I mean, that thing is just long. Sorry for blowing my finger. And that thing goes all the way down to what looks like a big old swimming pool or something. If you look all the way in the back of that house, it's kind of hard to see. Maybe I'll switch cameras right here just for this little snip. If you look all the way in the back, it looks like they're adding a pool. Now, I'm not going to walk in there or anything, but if you just look at the size of that house, it comes all the way out. You see the back, you see all those windows? There's several windows back there. I'm counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it comes all the way up front. And there's the garage. So what that looks like is you're going to walk up. Man, it looks like you're going to walk all the way up and then go into the front. So the front of the house is sitting sideways. Very different design, guys. Now, if you're looking to buy a house in WellPoint, man, you're in a hot spot for a very different, you want a different designed type house? There you go. There's just another one of those. You might be in for a treat in here. Some empty lots. Okay, this is great. We can come in from a side view. Side view right here. They got a lot of foundations poured, and you could see the precast walls going up right in here, right? And you got a lot of guys already putting up the roofing, which is an interesting process in of itself, because you're adding wood roof to an already concrete wall. So there's a process for that, obviously. All right, guys, we're gonna work our way out of here. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning. Contractors are starting to trickle in. So we are going to vacate. Now, interestingly enough, if you look at this house right here, this is what I was talking about. You see the area poured for the driveway, and this is going to have a little separate, you know, going into the garage. Want to switch cameras just briefly, just to show you again the driveway, right? And then the golf cart driveway is going to curve off going into, don't follow my finger, but just so you'll see, it curves off and goes into the golf cart garage. And this house has already been painted. And if you'll notice, it's got an address on it, 1947. But I don't know if anybody will notice. If you could tell me, what do you see right up here? Not just numbers. Those are floating address numbers. You know, where they tap them in and they float off of the house. And that's looking in. You know, if that house, as I'm looking at some of these others, I don't know if that's the final paint color or if that's just like a base. I really don't know yet. But as we continue to come in, as they progress, we'll know more about it. Up and coming new houses. Are they going to be courtyards? That's the question. One other little thing I like to show people, just for information purposes. As we come a little further into WellPoint, I know you can't see it, but there's a bunch of palm trees along the way. That's part of the golf course. And I'm not sure if that's an executive course or what. I'll have to look at the map. But all these houses right in here, I'm still on Denise Drive. And that's, how do you pronounce that name? Alyssa Way? Alyssa Via, I don't know. I'm not even gonna try. I don't like the street names they call these things out here. But just take notice that you got this big old power grid over here. So if you're gonna buy a house, if this is still WellPoint right here, WellPoint kind of cuts off at a point and it becomes Oak Hollow, or I can't even remember what the village is now. Let me just drop it in the description or post a mapping of it. Edenfield is on the other side of WellPoint. And but in here, right along here where my finger's going, that's still Marsh Bend Trail, right? So you're going to be right along Marsh Bend Trail, and your house, if you look way off in the distance, which you probably can't with this, sits right next to that power grid. Who in their right mind wants to buy a house, whether you spending 3, 4, 5,000 or 100,000 on something, and then you're looking at that. Not only that, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. It's just trying to let some people, be aware, right? And those are those new constructions we were just looking at. Coleman Federal Prison is like right over there someplace. Or somewhere over here, perhaps. I want to say it's off. I see a tower way up on the top, so it's off in that area. And that's a federal penitentiary. You guys going to be comfortable with living and buying a property that close to a federal penitentiary and then having this power grid right here? I'm going to briefly switch to my other camera just so I can be able to zoom in. All right, here's that electrical grid I was talking about. Way off in the distance, I don't know if you could see, where's my finger at? But just way off in the distance where that power pole is, you can see a watchtower. All that in there, that's the federal penitentiary, covering that however large it is. But then here's the electrical grid right here. And what you got areas for brand new houses. Brand new houses going to be parked right next to all of that. All these birds. There's just people who are wanting to buy here and they might not be aware. It's going to be crazy, but this is WellPoint. That's what's coming up. I would have thought that they were going to take the day off today. But then I just suddenly remembered, wait a minute. The guys out here, they don't take days off. So I'm going to come back in here on the other side of WellPoint, see if I can't find a thing or two. Somebody asked if I could check on something, and I'll see what I can do. Man, I just saw a big pile of what looked like throw up. I'm not kidding. Somebody must have threw up in the street off their golf cart or something from partying too much last night. That's disgusting. We did an open house over here. We just passed a couple of houses back. It was a smaller designer home, stucco. It was like $349 or something like that. $339, $335. It was actually a better price for a designer home than some of the other models. Wasn't bad at all. If that was that same house, it looked like it. So we are just traveling down, I think, a Steiger Street. See a lot of the new homes that have come up here in WellPoint. Now, interesting mentioning WellPoint. I got a map, right? And what I found out was, actually Susan would noticed it, is that a lot of these houses around here A lot of these houses around here are accommodation houses. What that means is there's a buttload of model homes, lifestyle visit homes, and all that kind of stuff. A bunch of them. So it seems like half of the village of WellPoint are accommodation housing, and they're not even up for sale. Like right here, for example, you come into here, it says WellPoint on these signs. These are cottage homes. And they built a big old parking lot next to the houses so that people could come over here. Are these going to be model homes? I think they might be model homes or whatever they're doing, but these aren't even for sale. Here's a house we looked at about a week or so ago of somebody's home right here on lot 33, right across from the entrance of the Courtyard Villas. Now right here at Rusa, I guess it's Rusa Road and Northcott Loop. Looks like the streets have been somewhat cleaned up. Rusa Run and Northcott Loop. Early New Year's Day. Guys are out here framing up some houses. Trying to go a little bit slow because it's, got some dirt. They spread out a dirt across the roads to kind of help protect the asphalt. So I'm just trying to be a little bit mindful here. Yeah, they got some designer homes coming up in here. I think at this point I'm probably gonna flip. Got some guys working on some homes over here that I don't want to go down. Just get in their way. All the way down. A lot of construction going on. A house in here with a little swimming pool coming up. Not much of a swimming pool, there's just wading pools really. Float, just kind of float in the water. Really tiny, actually. That's all you're gonna do. You're just gonna dip. The other side of this Northcott Loop. So whoever wanted to look at this is coming along. You got all those houses on the other side. They're all coming up. There's just a lot going on down there, and I don't want to go over there. Northcott right here. Just got a lot of stuff going down over here, a lot too much going on. You can see the precast wall frames and all those wooden gables right there so they can put up the roofs. Still yet coming up. So that's kind of where we're at right at the moment. That's just going to be a little quick video of some going-ons down here in WellPoint with the new houses. So evidently, today is not a holiday. At least not for these fellas. And until next time, guys, I'm going to catch you in the next video.